Welcome to episode 22 of Lost Signals. My name is Daryl.
I'm JD.
This is Fancy. She's joining us today, apparently, because
that's what Fancy does.
She's a blanket dog. She can't let me be alone. Neither can Loki. He's in the background already.
Oh, look at how adorable she is.
Yeah, and I'm petting Fancy, and Loki's trying to bite my hand because he's a little different. Yeah.
Dad, I want attention
Yeah,
too.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So,
How you been?
busy. Oh, that sounded like it hurt. She just hit her head against the desk.
Oh.
She's a pit bull, though. She's dumb. It won't hurt her.
She's dumb and won't hurt.
Okay.
They're not intelligent enough to know pain.
Well, they're smart. It's just that they're, just not so smart all the time. Anyways. No, I've been good, man. Busy.
Yeah.
2 weeks without having a beer, so
How you feeling?
Good. Really
Yeah?
good, actually. Yeah, I've been like exercising and taking them for walks every day and just being outside and doing things. So, yeah, no, I feel good. It's just I don't really miss booze. I mean, I do and I don't, but no, it's good. So yeah, the dogs are really enjoying it because, well, they get extra attention because Dad's bored. So
Extra walks.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, like the other day, each dog got like a 3.5 kilometer walk. I was tired at the end.
And both dogs are like, Dad, let's keep going.
Yeah, but because I can't walk the dogs together because I'll rip my arms off. So I'll walk one and I'll go in a loop around town here, and then I'll drop the one dog off and pick the other one up. And Fancy will be whining at the front window when I drop her off to pick Loki up, and he's just like, Fancy wants to come more. It's like, no, get out of here. You just
guys
went
know
for
the routine.
you went for 3.5 kilometers. Leave me alone. One at a time, kids. One at a time. Yeah. And we're trying to get a bunch of walks in before the weather turns shitty when they don't want to go because
Oh, really?
yeah, well, they're short hair, so they don't really like the cold. Like they'll go, but we'll get a kilometer in and then they're just shivering and so yeah, trying to get
You don't want to give them booties in like a Slayer sweater or something?
Yeah, I thought about it. Like, actually, I have one of my nephew's sweaters from when he was a kid that I had for Fancy at one point, and she's too big for it now, so it might fit Loki. But I don't know if he would like it. He'd probably like rip it off. Plus, he's a boy, so he'd probably piss all over it. So,
yeah, this is mine now.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah. So, how's your week been, man? Or 2 weeks, I guess, since we did this.
It's been hectic. It was a regular work week for me, and then I was actually not on the radio this weekend, which threw a lot of my listeners through a loop. They contacted me on social media like, dude, what's going on? Were you fired? What's going on? It's like, nah, I'm out of town.
Like, can I not have 5 minutes to myself, for fuck's sakes? Like, come on.
So I accompanied Alicia to her first bodybuilding competition in 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And that was due to just, the pandemic hitting and also scheduling. So we went to Grand Prairie, which was kind of fun for me because like I spent 2 years in Grand Prairie years ago when I was trying to sort out my life and my relationship to my wife was on the rocks and it was pretty much over at that point in time, but I was still coming to grips with it. And so I took a massive chance and got completely out of my comfort zone and accepted a job for a fracking company and changed my life forever. Made incredible money, was able to get my Class 1 license, which was always my plan to have a Class 1 license as a backup for income. And so going back to Grand Prairie and seeing how much it hasn't changed and how much it did change was kind of a trip.
I'm guessing that it didn't change a whole bunch.
But there was a lot of stores and even complete malls that have just been ghosted. Like not demolished, but just shut down and boarded up.
So like the mall on when you come in from Highway 43, like from Edmonton.
Yeah.
There was a mall, like you came into, like you were going west, I think, on that highway, and like there was a big mall on the left-hand side there. There was a superstore there. There's a big hotel in the corner. I'm guessing that mall's gone and closed or something.
Yeah, yeah. No, sorry, no. That's further in. Actually, so I was I was heading east, right? Coming from
Yeah.
Prince George to Grand Prairie, and so as soon as you come over that last hill, and it's wild because if you've never been to Grand Prairie and you come from Prince George or you come from Dawson Creek into Grand Prairie,
Yeah.
first of all, it is a 4-lane split highway and the speed limit's 110 kilometers an hour.
Nobody drives 110.
No one. Jesus, man. I was doing 125 and people were passing by me
yeah.
like I was standing still.
Yep.
So, and then you hit all these hills. There's no mountains, so there's just hills. And finally you crest this one hill and then boom, Grand Prairie is just right there.
Yep.
And there's an intersection in the middle of this highway. You're traveling well over 110 kilometers an hour. So driving into Grand Prairie, a giant big box store mall off to the side. And then the mall that you were thinking of specifically is still there. The superstore is still there. And actually that hotel that you're thinking of is where we were staying.
Okay, but that's on the opposite side of the city, right?
More towards the center.
Okay. Yeah, like because it was on the highway to go up to like Peace River or something. I spent 5 years there, and I don't like I remember it, but like, and I could probably go drive through it with my eyes closed, but it's been so long.
So the Pomeroy is where we were staying. The superstore was right there.
Yeah.
And there was a Safeway, not a Save-On, a Safeway behind us.
Like,
and,
I know where you're talking. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to buy smokes at the Safeway there back when I was on the darts. I go buy my carton and a half of darts before I went up into camp. Yeah. Anyway,
but like driving through like the core of Grand Prairie was kind of cool because like there was places that I remember like, oh, I ate there, and I accompanied my friends over there, and I was a designated driver at that Ripper joint, and oh, that's the restaurant where I got slapped for no reason. Like, oh, good memories about Grand Prairie. And it was interesting because like there was a couple of malls that were just like I said, like just ghosted, like boarded up.
Yeah.
Like plywood on the doors and the walls, and it wasn't like it was demolished or anything like that. They just like, nope, we're done. And they walked. So that was kind of cool. That's just kind of being there and just kind of reminiscing, I guess.
I'm guessing there's a couple reasons for that boarding up though. I mean, and it's part of it has to be COVID, I would think, but part of it has probably been the oil prices for the last 5-8 years, kind of destroying that economy up in that area. Yeah. Like I remember when I was up there between like 05 and 09, 04 to 09, there's a Chevy dealership there that if you went in and bought a brand new Duramax diesel, they would give you like a Chevy Cobalt for nothing. Like
just put it in the back.
Pretty much. Like the deal was they would give you this Cobalt, but you had no warranty on it. Like they would it was just they were going to give you this brand new car, but no warranty.
Yeah.
So you could spend your $60,000 on a truck and then get a car for your girlfriend, wife, or both, right? They could share it. That's how it was back in those days up there. Man, that was a weird fucking city. I mean, I didn't specifically work in Grand Prairie. I did for a little bit, but like I spent most of my time at Beaver Lodge, but Grand Prairie was a weird town. Oh,
well, you want to talk about weird towns. Beaver Lodge, that's a weird town.
What are you talking about? It was a great fun little place. Like I said, 5 years, about 4 years, I think I was in that town.
It was fun. And I spent 2 years there, and it was primarily like, because I was working in the oil field, it was primarily just there for a place to crash.
Yeah.
Because if it was busy season, you were out at camp. And if you were lucky enough that it was far enough out of town, but not far enough away from a camp, then things were comfortable. If you were unlucky enough that it was close enough to town where they didn't need a camp, those were long ass days.
Yep.
It was unfortunate. So
it's like sometimes it was like an hour back into town.
Oh yeah. And you're just like, but we're passing a camp there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
the rig I worked on, they actually like the oil company we were working for. They hired a camp just for our rig
oh
that followed us around, and it was great. I mean, it was usually like a 5, 7, 10 minute drive away. So
yeah,
but it was still camp. Fucking hate camp. I mean,
it was
camp was camp. You know, like
camp was camp.
It was different. It was a different lifestyle. But
Yeah, it was a roll of the dice too, because not every camp, of course, is different. Some of them have comfy beds, some of them don't. Some of them have TVs mounted in their room, and some of them you just hope that you remember to bring your laptop because you were fucking bored.
And some had cockroaches.
Yay!
Yeah. I will say, like, most of the camps I was in over the years, like up there anyways, like the food was always great. You know, like every once in a while you get a dud meal, but like for the most part, I mean, you never, there was always something to eat. So, I mean, that was always good. But I mean, that's a lifetime ago, really, for me. Like that's
same for me.
Yeah, like 14 years ago that I was out there. But
it was, I've changed my life for the better since 2012. And in the middle of 2012 to the very tip-top end of 2013, I was in Grand Prairie. And I would have been there longer if it wasn't for a very, very, very bad communication breakdown. And it wasn't just like one instance. It was actually, I gave him 3 instances to fix things.
We talked about this at one point.
I think we talked about this. I don't think that we talked about it here.
No, we did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember.
Oh, you might be right. Yeah.
Yeah. That was early in our tenure here. Yeah.
Yeah. So, if it wasn't for that, like I probably would have been on for a little bit longer, but looking back, like I was fortunate to get out when I did, because it wasn't too long after that the price of oil started to come down, and my department, I was a nitrogen tech, I would have been let go anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So I got out when I should have, basically.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
Like no bad memories, no hurt feelings, nothing like that. I mean, like that company that I worked for helped me change my life for the better.
Yeah. 100%.
So, but it was interesting going back.
Yeah. But you also ran into somebody else while you were up there too.
By pure coincidence, a mutual friend of ours, R-Star, Ryan. And it was wild because it was Saturday, I think. And he sent me a random text message saying like, "Hey, are you driving anywhere near Fort St. John?" I went, "Actually, no, but I'm currently in Grand Prairie." He's like, "Shut up." I go, "No, I'm in Grand Prairie." He goes, "I just moved here a week ago." Oh my God. And so for the first time ever, a member of BOG, or a former member of BOG, and the Media Jack sat down and actually met person to person.
It's weird, man. Yeah. Super weird. It's good you guys got to hang out. It's still just weird, like just random too. So
yeah, completely out of the blue.
So he's living up there full time, or I thought he was doing like 2 and 1 or something, like 2.
Yeah, 2 and 1.
Yeah, it's not so bad.
Yeah, and he says like it works out incredible for him, because it means that he's able to get work done, and then for that 1 week where he has off, he spends all of his time with his kids, and he is Mr. Dad, and it makes the time they spend together that much more special. And like he like me moved to Grand Prairie to change his life for the better, and to help put himself into a better position, and he's doing great. Like he's looking great. And my God, have you ever seen that guy's eyes? Like, God damn, he's got beautiful eyes.
Okay. I don't look at dudes like that, JD. I'm just telling you.
Well, eye contact.
Yeah, I know.
I notice things.
I'm glad you do. It's not something I pay attention to.
Fair enough. So yeah, it was a whirlwind week, and an incredibly busy 4 days, because we got there Friday, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and left Monday. and she competed on Sunday. And I mean, she did well. She did really, really well. 2 years ago, we were in Montreal, and she competed then. She wasn't prepared.
Yeah.
And her coach that she had at the time, not the best coach for her. Perhaps she's a good coach for someone else, but the two of them just weren't working well together.
Yeah.
This time around, way better, and like did way better this year than she did 2 years ago, and got some incredible, wonderful feedback, and is like gung ho to really bring it to the next show, which potentially could be the beginning of December or middle of March.
Oh, that's right on.
Yeah. So
it's got to be a busy lifestyle, though. I mean, like you got to be thinking of that 24/7, because it's not something like you can just, the weekend before it's like, yeah, gonna get ready for this bodybuilding show. It's like, yeah, shit don't work like that.
no, it doesn't, because there is a lot involved, and yeah, there's a lot of prep involved. Like you can't just sit down and go, okay, I'll make up for yesterday, today, blah. No,
You can't do that.
No, exactly.
Yeah,
so
every day.
it was insane, but it was refreshing to see. And here's our random COVID bullshit segment.
Yeah.
It was refreshing to see that every single athlete, judge, and person in the audience was required to give either a vaccine passport or a recent negative test, or pay for a rapid test right there and then.
Okay, so what was the rapid test worth?
I think it was like $120.
They really gouge you on that, but I don't blame them.
If you would have just gotten a shot.
Yeah, is what it is, I guess.
Yeah. So and then being in the audience, like the judges were wearing masks, and all the patrons or the people in the audience were all wearing masks. I was wearing a mask. The only people that weren't wearing a mask, of course, were the bodybuilders up on stage, and that makes sense. But like Alicia showed me photos of the backstage area, and they had rented out these 2 giant banquet-sized rooms.
Yeah.
And like everyone was completely spaced out, and like everyone had like a giant section to themselves, and so they took it upon themselves to not only make sure that everyone was practicing social distancing, but was like over practicing social distancing.
They gave them the tools to do it properly, which is
exactly
it's the way to do it. If you're forced, well, not forced, but if you're putting on an event like that with these protocols, you need to do that. I mean,
yeah.
let's be honest. If there's no other like conventions going on right now, the hotel is probably happy to rent that space out to them.
Oh, they were ecstatic. They were absolutely ecstatic.
Well, it's something going on, right? So
exactly. So it was fun. It was good to see athletes in the bodybuilding world get back into it. And not only that, I mean, like the athletes that were there were incredible. Yeah. So it was fun. It was refreshing, and it was kind of like a step towards like, we can get back to normal if we all work together.
Yeah. So I think I told you, like, I'm manager of the senior hockey team here in town.
Yeah.
And we had a meeting. I think I was after the last podcast, or maybe we talked to us. I don't remember. I have a very short attention span, but we passed a mandate as a league the other day that before you can even get put on a roster, you have to be double vaccinated.
You did not bring that up last time.
No. Yeah. We talked about it as a league. And we're just being ahead of the Saskatchewan Hockey Association, because that's probably what they're going to be saying anyway. So it's like, before you're even put on a roster, before you pay your money or whatever, you have to be double vaccinated with proof. So
I mean,
it's the way of the world now, like, and I know some people don't like it, and like there's still the people that are complaining about it. Like, I personally know people that are anti-vax and anti-masker that actually went and got vaccinated because of these rules. It's like, well, you know what? You just shut the fuck up about it and just go get it. Like, just...
If there was a legitimate argument to their stance, then I'd be more willing to listen. But
yeah.
Like, it's the boy who cried wolf. At the very beginning of this entire thing, it was 5G networks and China's blah 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 blah. And Like at that very moment, it was like, all right, the crazies are coming out. I'm automatically tuning out.
Yeah.
Right.
So speaking of crazy, and on the COVID talk, this is the last thing I want to talk about it today. But
Sure.
there was a gentleman that ran for the People's Party of Canada in the last election.
Right.
Famously anti-masker, anti-vaxxer. Had a YouTube channel about, and was interviewing people like about, I think he was part of even like the yellow jacket, like the hell was that? It started in France with like the trucks thing, like with
No, Yellow Jacket.
yeah. You know what I'm talking about. Like he was part of that, like the far right wing stuff. It came out on social media that this gentleman is in the ICU on a ventilator now because of COVID. I mean, I'm not gonna laugh about it, like, because I know the guy and I've met him before, and it's not you don't want to see people die, but like it's almost like I told you so.
It is it's the penny in the wall socket.
Yeah.
It's don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah. I told you to fucking don't do it.
Yeah.
It's
I saw a good analogy about this. I'm going to pull it up quick. Just
sure.
I think I even put it on my stupid fucking Facebook page. I still hate Facebook because there's so much hate and whatever on there. But it's analogy about how, like, about getting the vaccine and shit. It's something to the effect that, oh yeah, so like it's the 100 people in the marble thing. Like, okay, so you're given two choices. First, to go into a room with 99 other people and draw a marble from a box. 60 people draw a blue marble. You get COVID, you're fine. 30 people draw a red marble. You get COVID, you get sick for a couple days. You get over it. 9 people draw a yellow marble. You get really fucking sick. You go into the hospital. You almost die. 1 person gets the last marble and you do die. Or you could have the other choice where you just don't go into that room by getting a fucking vaccination. Right?
Why take the chance?
Yeah, it's whatever. I mean, it is what it is.
Okay, so
like,
go ahead.
People are you're gonna make your own choice, and you're not gonna be able to change people's minds about this, right?
Yeah.
To a point, anyways. But like, I'm all for like having your own choices too. But like sometimes like your personal choices don't like your personal choices aren't for the greater good. And I know people don't think about the greater good because everybody's fucking selfish, right?
Yeah.
If taking a fucking needle in the arm twice, or if I got to get a booster shot, whatever, I don't give a fuck. Like, but what harm does that do to you, really? Oh, they're taking away my freedom. Bitch, what kind of fucking freedom do you have in the first place? You don't. You need a permit to fucking drive a car. You need a permit to fucking go. You need a permit to go to work. You need a social security number. Like, if you don't, you're not special. Shut the fuck up. Push your rock like the rest of us.
Yeah. There's one thing I want to bring up, and actually it's something I kind of wanted to share, and it's a bit of an eye opener for me, but also at the same time it's a progressing situation. My ex-wife, Monroe, she has not gotten a vaccination yet. Okay. She also is a brand new mother. Her son was born at the beginning of this year.
Yeah.
And so first of all, when I first talked to her and asked her like, how are things, blah, 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 how you feeling? Did you go get your vaccination yet? She told me, no, because I've known her for such a long time. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You're a brand new mother. Go get your fucking shot.
Yeah.
And I can talk to her like that, right? Because she can tell me to pump sand, right? If she wanted to.
Yeah.
So it was last week. My car was in the shop and I needed a ride home from the bus shop. And so my ex-wife gave me a ride. And we got to my place and we're talking. And so she got all quiet. I asked her, like, what's wrong? And she says, I know there's a question that you want to ask me and I'm afraid to answer it. I went, okay. I don't have to ask the question, do I? She goes, no, I haven't gotten my shot yet. Why? Right? And then she started to open up and she started to talk to me about it. And knowing her, it started to make sense as to why she has not gotten a vaccination yet. Now, her son, not even a year old, is full trials and full rigmarole of getting all of the childhood vaccinations.
Yeah.
She's not anti-vax. She is scared. We're talking about a woman, and I tell her to her face that I love her. Our relationship fell apart for multiple reasons, but it doesn't stop how much I love her.
Yeah.
Would I get back together with her? Hell no. But
Yeah.
But I know her well enough to know that she is scared, and she is hung up on the pedestal of the vaccination and COVID. We're talking about a woman here who was like physically ill on the idea of getting her driver's license because she was scared of failing. She was.
I'll tell you this: you don't fail when you get a vaccine. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah. When she was offered a position to become a manager, she didn't sleep for like 3 days because she was so scared of making the wrong decision. Okay. And then overthinking that decision and like, what if I become a manager, but then I fuck up and then I blah, blah, blah. So like she was scared, and she is scared of the situation. And I told her, like, I understand that you're scared. And I understand that you're not stupid. And I know you're not stupid. But at the same time, like, you are running the risk every single day. And her answer was, I'm just scared of doing the wrong thing. I'm scared of making the wrong decision. What if I am one of those rare people that has a reaction to the vaccine? And again, like, knowing her as well as I do, that is something that I would expect coming from her.
Okay.
Because that's how she overthinks things. So I told her that I would support her 100%. Like, and I know that the idea of her getting vaccinated for COVID is terrifying because it is all over the news right now, and there's a lot of pressure, and the government's doing everything they possibly can to try to control the situation. And the reason why they're doing that is because everyone seems to forget that this is all about not overwhelming our healthcare system.
Yeah.
Right? The nurses and the doctors and everyone that works in healthcare are at their wits' end because of this. And this entire thing, the social distancing, the lockdowns, and the vaccine and all that stuff was pushed through because we're trying not to make all of our doctors and nurses and whatnot lose their fucking mind, because we can't just hire another doctor or a nurse like we can hire a pizza delivery guy.
Yeah.
Right. So I told her, like, I will go with her to go get the vaccine. I will invite her over to my place, and I will tell her, like, I will watch over her. I will make her a cup of noodles and whatever, like whatever it fucking takes. Right. And I also told her, like, if there's going to be a reaction to it, it's going to be within the first 15 minutes.
Yeah.
If there's going to be any further reaction to it, it's going to be within the first 3 days or 1 week. And then that's it.
Yeah.
And so I can understand how people are scared because they are just overwhelmed. And Monroe is not a stupid person. And she's also like a brand new mother, and her son is getting all the vaccines that a child should get at that young age.
Yeah.
She is just scared.
And let's be honest, like with all the shit that goes on with everything, it's a reasonable reaction to be, scared, nervous, anxious, whatever, but like sometimes you just gotta
put on the big boy pants and just fucking do it.
It's like, I'm gonna, like, again, we've talked about this ad nauseum, not ad nauseum words, but like, I'm gonna trust a scientist, somebody that's spent their entire life studying this shit and like dedicating their lives to this, rather than some mom on Facebook that believes in crystals, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the long and the short of that. That's yeah. Enough fucking COVID talk. Fuck that shit. It's fucking
no. And I'm glad that I was able to get that story out, because like it's a different perspective.
Yeah.
And You know, like I said, Monroe's not stupid. She's just scared.
And again, you know, it's justifiable because of the situation that we're all in.
Yes.
Still dumb. Still fucking hate it. Still hate every part of this.
I hate that I know so much. Honestly.
Yeah.
I have gone public with this. I hate that I know as much as I know about this bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know what?
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, because I was going to segue into something else.
Go ahead. Hit it.
So you know what else pisses me off? And we were talking about this before we started this. So I'm not on TikTok yet because I still refuse to go on TikTok because it's just there's something shady about that app, and it just annoys me, and everybody sends me fucking links to TikTok shit. Anyways, I go on Instagram Reels, which is pretty much the same fucking bullshit. It's just regurgitated onto Instagram, right?
Right.
I have an issue with, and it's not just on Instagram. It's on Facebook. It's on YouTube. Fucking Instagram. Twitter. Fucking anywhere that like people are trying to be influencers.
Yes.
I fucking hate when people use their kids to get likes on their stupid fucking social media platforms.
Yes.
Like I saw there's some family on YouTube that psychologically abused their children to the point where like Child Protective Services took their kids away from them because they were running a prank channel on YouTube. What kind of
Are you talking about Daddy-O5, Mike Martin?
Yeah, I mean that might have been one of them, but like
Yeah.
What kind of fucking asshole do you have to be to physically abuse your children to the point where like they have like severe PTSD so you can get a few likes on your fucking YouTube channel? Like, okay, you know what? Fine. If you want to run a prank channel or you want to do all that sort of shit on your YouTube channel and you're a bunch of consenting adults and you want to do that, 100%. I'm for it. But if you get to the point where you're bringing your children into this, no matter if they want to or not, if they're under the age of 18 and can't make their own decisions for themselves legally, they shouldn't be on there.
If they do not have the cognitive ability or even the actual ability to leave a situation, then they should not be subjected to whatever it is you're trying to fucking do for a couple of likes on whatever social media platform.
Yeah.
Hi, Kit Kat, and thanks again for the shirt. And no, we do not believe your sister, who is an acupuncturist.
No. I will say that there probably is a use for acupuncture, but probably not to cure COVID.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
The Mike Martin, the Daddy-O5 situation is something that happened on YouTube a couple of years ago. And it was the situation where the father and the mother would do these elaborate, insane fucking pranks and be like flat out screaming and yelling at their kids. And there'd be times where it was like physical abuse. And it was the flip the bottle challenge between the son and a daughter, and these kids aren't even like 10 years old. And if you flip the bottle and it landed on its base with a little bit of water in it, then it was fine. But if it didn't land, then you had to receive a slap from your sibling. And and it was brother and sister, and dad was there in the picture, and he was refereeing this entire situation. And the sister flipped the bottle and didn't land. And the guy said, and I'm paraphrasing here, he said, normally I would not condone any sort of violence, but in this situation, you didn't make the shot, so slap her. And just the kid, the son, just like reached back and just backhanded his sister, and she went down. I'm like, and this is on fucking YouTube? Now, subsequently, it's a situation where the channel got taken down. He tried to fire up on Twitch. That channel got taken down. Child Services came in. Turns out that it was a mixed family, and the kids went back to their mother, who got like awarded full custody. And holy shit. But no, you don't do this.
But it's like it's the same sort of people like that like I'm assuming on TikTok it's the same thing, but you get these young girls doing these fucking dance challenges too, and it seems like their parents are putting them up to this. It's like, what kind of fuckhead do you have to be to like to put your kids out there like that? I never understood this. Like, I don't have kids and I don't want kids. It's just, why would you want to do this? Like, why would you, like, it's like you hear all these horror stories about, like people getting picked up and like all like the human trafficking and shit. It's like, you're just putting a target on their backs, right?
Yeah.
It's like, because like once you're like out on the internet and shit, your name's pretty easy to find where you are, right? Let's be honest.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So, man, there's some fucked up people out there that would do crazy shit too, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, there was before TikTok was TikTok, it was called Musical.ly, and it was basically the same thing, but there was less dancing and it was more just lip syncing and whatnot. There was a young kid, I can't remember his name, nor do I care to remember his name, and he wasn't even like nowhere near 16 years old, but got a whole shit ton of followers for just being cute, adorable, and lip syncing to more adult oriented music. Not blatant, but definitely adult oriented music. And he got busted for trying to solicit photos from people of the opposite sex.
Like underage, probably.
Well, I don't know, and I don't care to look either, but I do know that situation is what was happening. And it's just like, okay, so now people are on TikTok, and I do have a TikTok. Follow me at the Media Jack. People on TikTok, they say like, "Oh, how dare you do this on a kids app?" Like, how dare fucking kids do this on a kids app?
Yeah,
you know? Like, where are you gonna draw the line? It can't be here and then slanted over there.
Well,
you know?
Yeah. This is not on topic, but it kind of is. Do you remember the comedian Chris D'Elia?
Yes. Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes. I know where you're going.
Yeah. So I don't know. This just popped in my head because so full disclosure, I actually liked this guy at one point. Guy was
he was
funny,
hilarious,
and he had a YouTube channel. And for some reason, when he was doing his videos, in like 3 or 4 of them, he had a Saskatchewan license plate on his desk. He had 2 of them for some reason. It was super weird. I don't know why, but there's a video. He was on the H3 podcast.
I don't think it was H3. I think it was a little bit more higher up than that.
Nutty. It's the dude and his Russian wife or whatever. It doesn't matter.
Anyway.
They were talking about Snapchat, and everybody thinks that if you got Snapchat that as soon as that picture goes away that it's gone, right? No. So like there's a video of like they're talking about how like no, these pictures get saved and whatever. And the look on Chris D'Elia's face the whole time is like, you can see the color draining out of his face, because what he was doing, he was asking young girls for like either contact information or lewd pictures or stuff. Like he used to like talking to like underage girls, I believe. And he got himself into some really hot water, and I don't think anybody's heard from him lately. Like, I don't know. I'm assuming you're looking it up right now, but
I'm trying to figure out what podcast he was on. And audio has surfaced, in which disgraced comedian Chris D'Elia joked on a podcast that Snapchat should only be used for quote unquote showing your bits. In a 2014 episode of the podcast, the 10-minute podcast, Brian Kalin and Will Sasso. I love those guys.
Yeah, they're good, but
it's nothing against it. Anyway, in a 2014 episode of the comedy podcast, a 10-minute podcast titled Don't Have Snapchat, features Chris D'Elia taking part in a discussion social media with co-hosts Will Sasso and Brian Kalin. He was actually a regular on that. Where was the episode where he got busted? That was recent.
It was on the H3 podcast.
It was?
Yes, it was. Because I remember watching it because it's with Ethan Klein and Hyla, whatever. Yeah, but I remember watching the clip, and they're talking about how the pictures get saved on Snapchat. There they can, and yeah, so there's that. I don't know how we got onto this. Oh, right, it was people abusing children, essentially.
Yeah.
Which is
the moment Chris D'Elia finds out you can save snaps.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like you can watch the color drain and just
Oh
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
realization, like he's like they're trying to ask him questions like, yeah. Yeah, and he's going through his phone. He's like, yeah, it's like he's not engaged at all anymore, and it's fucking hilarious. Yeah, but that's what happens. You know, you get to that. I would like he would have been what, like a C-list celebrity, D-list,
Maybe
like
even if that. Yeah.
yeah, like high D-list, low C-list, maybe. And you know he's trying to throw his clout around. It's like, come on, man, like just shut up, just shut up.
You know what? All the power to the people. If you have enough clout that you can get the attention of adults, then go for it. But Chris D'Elia found out the hard way. Don't do stupid shit,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to social media.
Yeah,
And
I think there's actually like full-on charges against him.
oh, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
At all. Because it wasn't long after that where it was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
And then
Then they start looking harder. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the way the cookie crumbles, I guess.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
it's not a good
Go ahead.
analogy. That's not a good analogy what I said, but anyways, it's still funny.
I firmly believe that because I know that there are kids versions of social media out there, I think you should be locked into a kids version of social media until like driving age. Like,
Well,
quite frankly,
until you should have to write a test.
yeah. Are you cognitively able to make sound decisions? Then again, like
Okay,
I'm
then
pretty sure
there'd
you
be
and I would fail that.
There'd be nobody on social media because everybody on any social media is stupid, including
Yes.
us. That's
Yes.
just the way it is.
Yes.
I'm going to segue this into another comedian that's kind of in trouble, but well, I mean, it's who he is. Dave Chappelle
yes.
just released his final Netflix special. And I can't remember the name of it now, and I thought I had it written down, but I'm stupid, and I don't write things down sometimes. It's The Closer. Yeah. So I watched this the other day. It was interesting. So what the special was, I mean, no spoiler, because you can't really give spoilers to a comedy show, but what it is he did the entire special as him going over the previous 5, because I think this is the 6th. Don't quote me on that, but he went over like some of the content that he had performed in the last 5 or 6 or 4 or 5 specials, especially about the LGBTQ community, where he is famously in a battle with the transgender community. I'm not touching that one, but he goes into that one, and to me, like, some of it seems like in the video itself, it seems like there's a setup for it. I'm not. Watch the video, because like I'm not getting into this. Get it?
Yeah.
But he's in trouble again, kind of. But he doesn't care anymore because he's done. He's done with Netflix. So I will say, if you want to see it, I would watch it. It's a little controversial. It's funny, but it's not as funny as some of his other stuff. Like the first 2 that he came out with, I think in 2016, were probably the better ones out of the 5. I don't know, have you seen any of these at all, or?
I'm pretty sure I've only seen like the first 3, quite frankly. But it's one of those situations where like I know enough about the most recent one that I'm not in a rush, to go see it.
It was okay. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure he got paid a pile of money to do it. And I mean,
Oh yeah.
they did the voiceover with Morgan Freeman at the beginning, which is funny, you know. And they dedicated it to Norm Macdonald too. So I mean, that was cool. Like, I would, you know, if it's shitty out on a Sunday afternoon, it's only an hour and 15 minutes. I'd watch it, and just for the hell of it. I mean, just for the experience of it, or not the experience, but like to be aware of it. But
Yeah.
I mean, it was okay. It wasn't his best work, but there's another announcement this week that I'm on the fence about, and I don't know how I'm going to take this. So they announced that they're making That 90s Show. Okay, so That 70s show was good. It was on.
It was great.
It was good. It was on for like I think I want to say like 6 seasons, maybe more, maybe 7. I think it was 6.
For a while.
Yeah. And then they made that 80s show, and that was fucking terrible. It was on for like I watched I think 2 or 3 of the episodes, and they were terrible.
Wasn't it a brand new cast too?
It was 100% new cast.
Yeah.
Different town, different whatever. So
Yeah.
now they're coming out with that 90s show. But it's technically not a new cast. It's new it's a new cast, but it's not new characters. The way that I understand this, and from what I read the other day, so Eric Foreman's parents, Kitty and Red,
Right.
are in the show. And Eric and Donna, their daughter, is living with them. So,
are we going to see Eric and Donna?
you would assume so, because I mean, why wouldn't you, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm guessing that they're not going to be like full time on the show, but I'm guessing that they're going to be at least on the show like part time.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're not going to see. I just thought of this now too. It's like you're not going to see Danny Masterson on that show.
No, fuck no.
No, because he's famously in jail.
Yeah. Oh, in jail. I thought he was just like blackballed.
No. He got charged
With what?
oh fuck, some bad shit. Like,
Jesus.
well,
Is he sharing a cell with Bam Margera? Because like those two are almost interchangeable when I think of them.
Let's see. Okay, rape.
Oh fuck.
3 rape charges. But so okay, so I just googled Danny Masterson, and it said like that 70 show vet Danny Masterson shares response to Netflix ordering that 90 show sequel. It's like,
Who cares?
yeah, well, like, why are you even asking him? Like,
Yeah. Why don't we ask Bill Cosby about what he thinks about Dave Chappelle's new special?
exactly, yeah.
Jesus.
Let's see. I'm just looking at his Twitter to see if there's anything on there. The dude is still like active, so I guess he's not in jail yet. But, anyways, I'm interested about the show. I'll give it a chance, but I'm not holding my breath.
I mean, there's a lot of things I can think about in the 90s that were like we grew up in the 90s. I can think about a lot of things in the 90s that I liked, and I can think of a lot of references and like the music, which was an utter mixed bag because you had the hard resurgence of heavy metal as well as the absolute utter flood of pop top 40.
Yeah. So the way I understand it, this show is going to be set in 1995.
Right in the middle of the decade.
Yeah, and it's going to be, well, obviously set after the grunge movement, because grunge died in, April 8th, 1994 when Kurt Cobain died.
Yeah.
Well, anything after that is technically considered post-grunge. So
yes. Yeah.
So yeah, you're gonna have a lot of there's a lot of good music that came out there. So hopefully it's kind of based around that, but it's gonna be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I won't. Well, I guess if it's on Netflix, I won't have to wait around every week to watch it on fucking network TV because fuck network TV. But yeah, I don't know. I'll give it a shot, I guess.
I'll give it a shot, but I'm not holding my breath. And this is with the realization that like a show doesn't really get into its rhythm until like the 3rd or 4th episode. So,
and sometimes it's not until like the 2nd or 3rd season where it actually hits a stride where it's actually good.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I this is one of those things like, okay, we'll see, I guess.
Yeah.
And Netflix isn't exactly, they don't have a consistent record of home runs. There are some flops out there.
They have some good, some of the higher budget stuff is good. Like, Stranger Things, mind you, that's specific and that's only like 9 episodes.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Final Space.
Nah, I didn't watch that.
Final Space is great.
Yeah. Okay, so back to Danny Masterson.
Yeah.
He was on The Ranch with Ashton Kutcher, which actually wasn't a bad show.
No, it was.
I got to, I think, season 5, and then I just quit watching because I was bored. But no, I quit watching it because on Netflix, the one season was really dark. Not dark as in tone-wise, but like when you watched it on a TV or computer or on your phone, it was dark.
Yeah, it was like the whole thing was shot at night.
Yeah, it was weird. So I just like, I'm not watching this. Anyways. So there's something else that pissed me off this week. Or was it last week? So, as everybody knows, like we play video games all the time.
Yeah.
Rockstar, makers of the Grand Theft Auto series,
Yes.
is still dragging their feet on releasing Grand Theft Auto 6. Let's be honest, we're going to both be in our 50s when that fucking comes out. That's my prediction now for Grand Theft Auto 6. But what they did announce last week is that the definitive edition for the PlayStation 2 era trilogy. So Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. They're re-releasing it for like the 7th time. At least the 7th time. And I'm not even kidding when I've said it's been released that many times. Like,
yep.
For sure. PlayStation 2, like I'm going to say like the PlayStation Vita, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Steam. I think it's on Epic Games. It's on the Rockstar Game Launcher. Plus, there's been like 3 or 4 different releases just on PC on disc alone. So like they're getting their fucking money out of these games that are like upwards of 20 years old now. You
can get versions on your phone as well.
Yeah, and that's disgusting. Yeah. It's not this, I mean, I mean, I have a Vita, a PlayStation Vita. Yeah. I'm not going to play a game on this. I mean, it would look great, but I'm just not going to do it because it's just, no. But the only way that this is going to work for me, and the only way that I would consider buying it, is if the control schemes are updated.
Yeah. The control scheme for, at the very least, Grand Theft Auto 3 was clunky at best.
Yeah.
And they adjusted a few things in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, but still, like we're used to Grand Theft Auto 5 and Grand Theft Auto Online, and it's fluid for the most part, but there are certain things about it that it's still like, how the fuck, how do I swim down?
Yeah. Or do you just die when you go swimming?
Yeah.
I think in Grand Theft Auto 3, if you jump into water, you just die and that's it.
Yeah.
I was actually playing Vice City the other day, just for the hell of it, and I threw it on. I think on my PlayStation 4, and I played it for about 10 minutes. I'm like, this is terrible. It's not that the game is terrible, because like to me, like the story for Vice City, I mean, because it's Scarface.
Yeah.
The story for Vice City is great. It's just that I can't get past the controls. Where back in the day, when that's all you were used to, it wasn't a pain in the ass as much. Now I just can't do it anymore. So
we're spoiled these days.
I'm hoping that if it's going to be a proper re-release, give me some updated controls, and I'll be happy. And then I'll play them. I'll play them all again. I'll play them all front to back, whatever. Because I've actually
it's not just a port.
Yeah, I've actually never finished San Andreas.
Really?
Yeah. It just
San Andreas. I finished San Andreas, like 100% San Andreas, and I mean it's a challenging mission at the very end.
I've seen the videos of it, like of the end of it. It's just not my thing. You know, it's not that it's not my thing. It's just like, I think I got to that one mission where you have to chase the train. It's just, oh damn, CJ, all you have to do is like, fuck, just shut up.
Shut up, Big Smoke.
Yeah, you
just shut up.
Yeah, go eat your 7 number 43s. Or what? 2
number 5.
2
number 5
9s.
large.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, but
What?
No. There's a reason why he did that. Apparently, that somebody figured out that he had to stall because the Ballas were going to come get him and meet him someplace.
Well, that is what happened. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Disgrace. What disgrace?
Who's saying?
I'm looking at the chat right now. I'm
Oh.
sorry.
No, I don't have the chat up.
Chapped head.
Oh yeah. Hey Ethan, what's up?
If they can update the control scheme and update the graphics, I mean, like staying true to what it was, like the fact that CJ's hand was just kind of melded together.
It's just like two big clubs.
Just mitts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Finish GTA, Daryl.
You know what? Give me the updated controls and I will. How about that?
Yeah.
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 If there was a mod to do it, that would be great. And I think there is, but it's whatever. Let's see. Okay, so let's do this. What are you listening to this week?
You don't want to bring up Friday the 13th?
Nah, let's save that for the next episode because
Sure.
we're hitting that mark here, and then we got some other stuff we're gonna be doing after this. So
Yes, this is very true.
Yeah.
So the first song is a song that you might know if you're a fan of David Bowie and some of his rarer cuts. The song is called "I'm Afraid of Americans," but it's not the David Bowie song. It is the version done by Bones UK. And you being a bass player, I think you will really enjoy this tune.
I mean, the name of the song sounds familiar, but Bones UK, is that what it is?
Bones UK. The reason why it's Bones UK, it's the same thing as Static and Static X. There was a band called Bones, and so they had to change it slightly. So it's Bones UK. The song is called "I'm Afraid of Americans."
I'll definitely have to check that out. Well, it'll be added onto our Found Signals playlist. Anyways, that's on Spotify if you want to look that up.
Yeah.
And lostsignals.ca, Twitter, Instagram. Not Instagram yet. We're not there yet. I don't have time to do that shit. Anyways.
Who does?
Apparently influencers that want to fuck with their kids. Yeah. So the first band that I discovered this week, well, it's not discovered. I had heard them before here and there, but I saw something on Reddit about them, and I'm sure I've seen some of these guys post on some bass pages that I follow on Facebook and Instagram. They're called the Omnific, and they're a very interesting band because it's two basses and drums.
Two basses
And drums. Yeah. So I'm gonna put on the song called "Wax and Wane." It's fucking trippy. So if you listen to that playlist, like if it's kind of similar in like the Pliny intervals vein, but super bass heavy. So it's pretty intense. Like I just found this stuff again the other day. So yeah. So that's the Omnific Wax and Wane. So like again, I'll be putting that up on the Found Signals playlist, and we'll have a link in the description.
Yes.
You know what we could do at some point?
What's that?
Maybe put this playlist on another platform.
Could, but we're on Spotify too, so.
Well, that's true enough too. Fuck them. Anyways, what's your second one?
Gemini Syndrome, Stardust.
Why do I know that?
It is. Yeah, you'll hear the opening riff of the song and go, oh yeah, that song. It was everywhere like a couple of years ago.
And it's Stardust?
Stardust, yes. And it wasn't until like last year I finally realized that it was a love song.
Oh.
Yeah. Gemini Syndrome, Stardust. There is a alternate version, or I should say an acoustic version of that tune out there, which it sounds great. But I mean, the original version, Gemini Syndrome, Stardust, just awesome. Just a wonderful, fun rocker. You know?
I'm gonna have to check it out because I'm sure I've heard it. It was probably on fucking Octane or some shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. Yeah,
okay, for sure. My last one for this week, it's actually by a comedian, and there's kind of been a vein of comedian stuff this week. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you can call this guy a comedian, but he's a content creator on YouTube. I think he started. God, the guy's name is Matt Cutshall. He runs a page called Emo's Not Dead. And I stumbled on this.
I love it.
Yeah. Man, I was probably an emo kid for sure. But he started this page, and like he's been getting more and more traction with it. He's actually been getting like big emo bands to come on his channel, and like he's covering these songs and whatever. So this Matt Cutshall started a fake band, but a real band called Your Broken Hero, and the song is called A Letter to Ashley. And it sounds like it came out last year, and it sounds like it fucking would have dropped 2006.
Really?
Yeah. It's hilarious. And if you get a chance, go check out his YouTube channel. It's called Emo's Not Dead. He did a video, like, do you know the band Silverstein? They're a Canadian emo band, or like, I don't know, yeah, post-hardcore, whatever. I'll put a link, or I'll share the link with you, and then I'll share the link on the Lost Signals page, Facebook page later. Sure. Check this video out. It's hilarious. There's drugs involved. He accidentally eats some pot brownies, and there's a horse involved, and it's shooting, or it's farting lightning and shit. It's fucking hilarious. Anyway, check it out. It's hilarious. I enjoyed it. So yeah, second one is A Letter to Ashley by Your Broken Hero. Again, that'll be up on the Found Signals playlist on Spotify, and I'll put the link someplace. I know I keep putting it up on Facebook, so if you see it on Facebook, great. If not, well, you can always email me at info@lostsignals.ca.
Yes.
Yeah, that seems like a good place to stop.
I think so.
For now. Yeah. So my name is Daryl.
I'm JD.
This has been episode 22 of Lost Signals. We'll see you out there.
Take care.